The most unsettling thing about the cookie cutter shark isn't what it does, it's how casually it does it. Imagine this: after a sudden, sharp bite, there's no chase, no struggle, no finishing blow. The shark doesn't even stick around to see what happens next. It just detaches, vanishes back into the deep, dark water, and leaves its victim to keep on swimming. But now with a perfectly round, missing piece of its body. This isn't an accident. It's a highly evolved strategy. You see, cookie cutter sharks don't hunt to kill. They hunt to harvest. Their entire feeding system is designed around one brutally efficient idea. Take the maximum amount of energy with the absolute minimum amount of risk. Killing a massive whale would be impossible for a shark this small, but stealing a single, perfect plug of flesh from one that's surprisingly easy. So, evolution didn't build them for raw power. It built them for precision. Their lips are incredible, forming a tight suction seal against a victim's skin, almost like a kitchen plunger. This isn't a bite in the way we normally think of it. It's a rotation. The upper jaw stays fixed, acting as an anchor, while the lower jaw, with its razor-sharp teeth, spins. In less than a second, those teeth carve a clean, circular cut. It's a perfect biological hole punch. The chunk of flesh is removed and swallowed whole. There's no chewing, no tearing, no mess. And then, just as quickly as it began, the shark lets go. This explains why so many victims barely react. There are accounts of swimmers who did uneven lies. They'd been bitten until they got out of the water and saw the wound. We see dolphins and whales with these scars, and they just keep swimming as if nothing happened. The pain arrives late. The confusion arrives even later. And in the deep ocean, that delay is everything. So why don't the victims fight back? It's because the cookie cutter shark is a master of anatomy. It strikes where defenses are weakest: soft tissue, fatty regions, and areas with low nerve density. They actively avoid thick muscle clusters. They avoid bone. They avoid any spot that could trigger a violent, thrashing response from a much larger animal. That's why you find most of their signature scars near fins, on soft bellies, and around the head. They get just close enough to feed, but stay far enough from danger to survive. For the cookie cutter, a living host is far better than a dead one, because a living host is a renewable resource. The shark might just come back for another bite later. And this is where the story gets even stranger. The cookie cutter shark glows in the dark. Its belly is covered in thousands of tiny, light-producing organs called photophores. In the deep ocean's twilight zone, a faint amount of sunlight filters down from above. Predators hunting from below will look upward, searching for the dark silhouettes of potential prey against that faint light. But when the cookie cutter shark glows, its belly light perfectly matches the light coming from the surface. Except for one brilliant, deceptive detail. From a distance, in the murky depths, this dark patch looks exactly like a small, lone fish. It looks like a weak target, an easy meal. So, larger predators, like tuna or other sharks, are lured in, thinking they've spotted a snack. They move closer, ready to strike, And when they do, the cookie-cutter shark doesn't run, it waits. It lets the predator come to it, turning the hunter into the hunted. This clever hunting strategy isn't just for living creatures. Even submarines were never safe. When the U.S. Navy first discovered these perfect, crater-like holes in the rubber sonar domes of their submarines, they were baffled. At first, they suspected an enemy weapon or an act of sabotage. The truth was far stranger. It was a fish, barely a foot and a half long. Sonar domes are made of a special rubber-like material. They're smooth, relatively soft, and because of the electronics inside, they're warm to the touch. To a cookie-cutter shark, they feel just like the flesh of a whale. The Navy tried reinforcing the domes with fiberglass and harder coatings, but some were still punctured. Because the shark doesn't need to bite asterisk through asterisk the material. It just needs to cut asterisk around asterisk it, and the immense pressure of the deep sea doesn't scare it one bit. Cookie-cutter sharks routinely travel through depths where the pressure would crush unprotected machines. Their bodies are soft and compressible. So instead of resisting the pressure, they simply surrender to it, equalizing their internal pressure with the outside. This makes them almost indestructible in their deep water home. For an animal that leaves its mark all over the ocean, from the biggest whales to nuclear submarines, cookie-cutter sharks are almost never seen or filmed alive. That's because they inhabit the ocean's twilight zone. It's a realm too deep for most sunlight to penetrate, but too shallow for the complete, total darkness of the abyss. During the day, they lurk in these crushing depths, far from sight. Then, at night, they undertake a massive vertical migration, rising closer to the surface to hunt under the cover of darkness. This daily journey keeps them hidden from most predators and from our cameras. We almost never see the hunter. We only see the wounds it leaves behind, and somehow that makes it even more unnerving. The bite heals. Most animals do survive it, so the scariest part isn't the wound itself. The scariest part is what this little shark proves. It proves that in the ocean, size doesn't always matter. It proves that stealth can beat strength. And it proves that remarkable intelligence can evolve without a big brain. Here we have a shark, smaller than a skateboard, that figured out how to feed on the largest and most powerful animals in the sea whales, great white sharks, dolphins, and even on our most advanced technology, all without ever really being seen. Not every ocean predator needs jaws filled with teeth the size of knives. Some just need perfect timing and a brilliant strategy. The ocean is full of these quiet hunters. The cookie-cutter shark doesn't roar. It doesn't chase. It doesn't announce its presence in any way. It just glows softly, attaches silently, cuts once, and disappears back into the void. And somewhere out there in the dark right now, another perfect circle is appearing on something that never, ever saw it coming. Thanks for watching. If you found this as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the deep.